April, can you tell me a little bit about who you are and what your background is in holistic health and wellness?
Yeah, so for about the past 13 years now, I've been traveling and teaching, helping people, horses, and all their pets to a better lifestyle, better wellness, and feeling in their bodies. That just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel this way. Because you're 50, you're supposed to feel this way. So I'm 58 and I feel great, and I paddle and I swim and I snorkel and I can still wear a bikini.
Ooh, awesome. Can you tell me a little bit about what the Healy is? I see you're wearing it there. Can you give us a little bit of a close up and tell us how it works?
This is amazing. So Healy Microcurrent is time waiver frequencies from Germany. They just launched in the US in May. And as everybody knows, with the current pandemic, travel was kind of locked down in early April. Normally, I fly 50,000 miles a year teaching health, healing, and wellness. And one of my clients told me about this, and I got really excited about it because it's a way when doctors are saying don't come unless it's an emergency or you have COVID, everybody's staying home. And this is a way to take care of your own health issues at home. Mine runs 10 to 15 hours a day. I help friends, family,
Wow.
anyone not feeling good. I'm like, you just sit there and let me just hook you up.
That sounds amazing. So you told us a little bit about how you first heard about the Healy. What was your experience the first time you tried it?
So I teach energy and healing, and a lot of people want me to sponsor their products. As everybody knows, I teach divine pendulum, advanced applied kinesiology, using your yes, nos to muscle test products. And this to me is just like on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 12. And there's different ways to work on it. If it's deeper issues into the body, you hook it up with the electrodes. And there's over 140 programs to choose from, and it has a quantum sensor in it. So it scans your body and it sends the frequencies that you need, also helping to push out the 4 and 5G that's affecting our cells. When your cells aren't at 100% and those are splitting and dividing, that's part of your aging process. When you go to bed at night and you just hurt and you wake up and it takes a while to get going in the morning and you're just like, oh, well, this is how it's supposed to be at my age. Well, I'm like, no, cancel clear. There's a better way to do it. And I teach people how to effectively use this at home with their friends and their family and on themselves. My first experience was I was so excited, and there's so many programs. It's like, oh, I get to use one for moods. Oh, I get to use one for hormones. I'm having a bad day. Oh, there's programs for when I'm on the computer and I'm frustrated for actually retaining, more information, or I be on the computer for 7, 8 hours and then I'm supposed to go exercise and I don't have any energy. And I can run an energy program. And I'm like, oh, now I feel like I had a shot of espresso and I can go ride my bike. So it was just nice to be able to get yourself back up there without supplements and caffeine and some kind of drink that we use to like force ourselves to get going.
Mhm.
Actually feel so vibrant inside that you want to go do it.
Wow, that sounds super cool. So you were telling me a little bit about programs, about the Healy's programs. So I guess I wanted to talk about, from my understanding, that the Healy is cleared by the FDA to support certain issues, but then there are also these extra things that kind of extend beyond conventional Western medicine that people tend to use Healy for. Can you kind of explain those things to me?
Correct. So it comes from Germany and time waiver, and Europe's a little bit ahead of some of the things that we're doing here in the States because of the FDA. So they did get cleared for arthritis, joint, and muscle pain. It does have other things that it can help you with. Knowing all that, I had a boating accident with a canoe hitting me in big waves, didn't feel good, really out of sorts, emotional stress, physical trauma and stress in my body. And I hooked up to the Healy for like 3 hours straight, just running different programs. And the next day, within like 14 hours, I couldn't even, tell that I'd been hit by big waves and the side of a canoe and in the trauma sitting out there in the ocean, wondering if a shark's going to come bite me. It was like I could work through all of those things. And my boyfriend was like, "Are you okay? You're going to go horseback riding? Really? Didn't you just have a really bad accident yesterday?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I feel great." So it was just nice to not have to process all of that in my body, the bruising and the trauma for a whole week. And to be able to, I use my yes and no, and I teach people, on the programs, what do I need? How long do I need to run it? There's 140 to choose from. So it's like, what would benefit my body the most right now? You want to hear the funniest thing I've been using it on lately?
Yes, definitely.
You know how we're all home with this pandemic and we're all kind of like comfort food eating and not
Yeah.
outside
Yes, I know that.
things and putting on 10 pounds and getting that little tummy.
Hmm.
I got these off of Amazon, 2 by 4 inch sticky pads. And
Okay, those are kind of like similar to what goes with the tins.
correct.
Okay.
It's the same type of plug-in. And I put them on my tummy and I ran like stress programs and fatty degeneration programs and lymphatic clear programs. And it was like, yay, I lost 6 pounds and my tummy's flatter again. Yay. And all that while I was still working on the computer and not changing my lifestyle. So I'm
That sounds perfect for my life.
I'm a multitasker, so when I go to work on horses, I can run the pain programs and the regeneration programs before I'm going to go abuse my body working on 6 or 7 horses for 4 hours. So it's nice to be able to support my system in that way. And I'm not feeling so much pain when I go to bed that night. It's like the body's already starting to recover. So it's just amazing all the things it can do.
Yeah. So, out of all the things that it can do when you are consulting with people about their health and wellness and about Healy, what are some of the most common problem issues that people are looking for help with?
So I do the distance readings and the distance session with people, and they fill out a form of what they're having issues with. But the Healy programs teach you to start like with the gold cycle and just rebalance the body. And you can do readings for their chakras and balancing all of that energy. It's like getting back to the root start of all of that to rebalance your body. And then I'll go into meridian systems and bioenergetic balance and programs for cellular smog and all the EMFs from our computers and clearing that from their body. And that's just using the muscle testing for what they need. With my Healy resonance, you don't need the wires, and I can send energy to people. And I'm just amazed. I did the first 30 days, I just offered free sessions on Facebook, and I was helping people in New Zealand and Turkey and California and Canada and cats and horses with COPD. And the owners are saying it's 100 degrees out and it's hot and humid and my 30-year-old horse can't breathe. And I'd be like, well, let me try this on them. And the next day they go out and see their horse and they're like, wow, he can breathe and it's hot. It's the same thing. And my horse's eyes are clear and bright. And yesterday I helped a cat in Canada that just had an eye removed and was in a lot of pain and not eating and drinking and setting up the programs. And the cat's connected to the owner. So I had to tell the owner, we need to work on you as well. And now the cat's eating and they're happy. I had a naturopath doctor say a lot of pain and doesn't sleep well and floaters on his eyes. And the next day he said fewer floaters on his eyes and less pain and sleeping better. So I'd say probably the most noticeable on just one session, I run it for 2 to 3 hours at night when they're sleeping, is they slept better, deeper, and they woke up feeling more refreshed just by balancing all of their energy systems.
Okay. Something I guess that sounded really interesting to me that I want to pick out from what you said, and for people who don't know, is aside from helping people with their health and wellness, you are also like a horse care, holistic horse care health expert, and you've been helping people with their cats and their dogs. So I guess just tell me a little bit more about that, about helping the animals.
So, you know how they say if my horse could just tell me what was wrong? My first DVD I made that is the horses are talking, are you listening? You know, and they pin their ears, swish their tails. But I mean, basically, it comes down to toxic world, not a lot of nutrition and plants, and things are just happening in our body. And you can't just eat healthy anymore. You need a little bit more, you know, for balancing the cells in our body. We need more help. We have more toxins, more cell phones, more cell towers affecting all the animals everywhere, and more vaccinations, more chemical warmers, less nutrition in the feed. So I'm just saying, you know, this whole thing of what we didn't have 25 years ago and horse health issues that we're having a lot of now. And all the medications that they're receiving from the Western medicine professionals are kind of helping with the symptoms, but not working on the cause. So do you always want to be taking the prescription med, or do you want to find out why your body needs that to treat that symptom and work on that? So I teach people to work on the cause, not just the symptom. So if you work on the cause and the symptom, then the body can start to heal itself. So in the Healy, all it is a healthy cell is supposed to be minus 70 MV, unhealthy is minus 30 MV. And it's just getting your cells back to the healthy, and then your body takes over in the healing process. It's not like, you know, you can lay on the Beamer blanket that starts at like 4,000, or the PMF machine that just sends it to you. But this quantum sensor actually says, wow, this area is low or this area is low, and it actually fills up those cells. So sometimes you didn't even do a program for something, but you're noticing that it's better. You have less pain, more mental clarity, and more energy. And who wouldn't want that?
I know, right? That sounds good. I'll take some.
You know, and
I guess too, just to, I'm sorry, did you have something you wanted to add?
so on the resonance program, it's a phone app, and you put your thumb on it and it scans your body for what you
Oh,
need. So when you're doing that program, which I really like, and that's how I do the distance sessions, that's how we do the horses. So without needing the wires, when you set all this up, I'll be a surrogate for the horse holding onto the horse. And then you can either put the horse's nose on the phone app or your thumb, and it'll read what the horse needs. So it's
oh,
really, when you, yeah, you put a little horse's nose on this little thumbprint. So say,
I'm just imagining rubbing a horse's nose right now. Oh, it's such a pleasant feeling.
there's a little thumbprint. So all I
I
do is hold the horse and put my thumb on it, and it scans for whatever the horse needed that day and then sends it. So if you really want a healing technique for dummies, this is what you want to get. Like, okay, what do I need today? Oh, look, it's going to tell me what I need today. And then it just says, do the programs. And you just hit start and you pick the time. So it's kind of like your TV remote. Okay, I'm going to lay down and watch TV now. I'm just going to scan my thumb and I'm going to get a 30-minute healing while I'm sitting here watching my favorite comedy show.
Okay. So when it comes to the distance healings that you were talking about earlier, how do those work, and like how far of a range can you offer distance healings?
So did one in Turkey, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, and all over the US. And to me, that's why I was doing them for free for a month. I was just amazed. Wow, you're having, you know, all these responses, you know, from really severe stuff, people with lupus that are feeling better, and their doctors are noticing, saying, what are you doing? I don't know. I'm just balancing her chakras, her energy meridians, and sending the programs that she's scanning for. So if I go into a guest, you know, and I just say I'm scanning for a certain person and I have their picture and their information, the resonance will just come up with what they need.
Okay.
I have their address, their picture, and then we just send it. and you just pick a time, and I teach people how to ask what, how long that time needs to be for, and it does anything from 1 minute to 8 hours.
Okay. Yeah, I
So
know you and I did a distance reading together, and the PDF report you sent me from the Healy afterwards, I was like, oh my gosh. It looks at so much.
it really does with everything that we go through. And you noticed with your friend and partner that he actually got it just being in the same vicinity as you.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
he woke up all like super bright and perky that day.
but people will do distance Reiki sessions and stuff, but it really drains that person. While when I set up my distance session, I'm getting a healing and they're getting a healing. So
Mm.
it's a win.
Hmm.
And I just feel so good about that. And people are like, well, why aren't you charging more? I said, because I really rather have more people have this and get their own Healy. So right now it's only $25 for like a 2-hour session. But I'm just setting it up when they're, laying down at night sleeping, and they just wake up going, wow.
Yeah. So if people want to get in touch with you for either a Healy like distance session or to get a Healy of their own, what's the best way to do that?
So they can email me, they can go to the website. We have a business page, Healy for Your Health. I have an email, healyforyourhealth@gmail.com, and that's Healy, Healy, the number 4, your health @gmail.com. And they're on sale
Okay.
through December 4th. You might be watching the video after this, but if they're ever on sale again, it's usually a $500 bump up to the next model. And you're like, it's not $50, it's $500. You're like, I better get one now.
We'll make sure wherever we post this that we have your contact information easily available in the caption or something.
Yeah, I even have a very skeptic partner of my own who's like, well, I don't know if it's really working on me, but I did take off my sunglasses and I could actually read my phone the other day because he wanted me to run vision programs. And he goes,
Mm.
and I'm not depressed being on unemployment in COVID times. I'm like, well, maybe I've been running some mood programs and some vision programs, and maybe it's
Mm. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us today. And I hope this helps people who are wondering about Healy. This helps provide them with some clarity.
right. And remember, these are only my personal testimonies. Okay. And this is just all the amazing things that I have personally found this machine can do for me and my friends.